Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nomonde here, and today I wanted to talk mainly about the season 5 episode Distraction and just discuss my opinions for the first 3 episodes of the season. I know I've been sort of MIA for a while now, but bear with me. There has been a lot of miraculous news released over the past week or two. Plus, with more episodes coming out very soon, it's quite challenging to keep up with all of it and make videos before the hype dies down or a new trailer comes out where the hype will shift to the new content. But I do have some points I really want to get across, so let's get into it. So instead of giving a rundown of the episode beforehand like I did with previous analysis and reviews for season 4 episodes, to save both yours and my time, I'm going to assume that if you're watching the video, you've most probably watched the episode. So Distraction was an episode that honestly caught me by surprise. Yes, it wasn't the most action-packed episode or an episode with enormous shipping content, but it is a fascinating and important one. And one of my highlights of the episode was the Kwame lore that we got. Over the course of seasons 1 to 4, we got some lore on the Kwames and the Guardians that have watched over them. In Distraction, we got the latest bit of Kwame information. In addition to what we already knew about them, they are unable to replicate a power belonging to another Kwame, as each Kwame represents a concept, and only one concept can exist in every universe. The Rooster Kwame, or Rico, can't replicate the power to go back in time because it is necessarily Fluff's power. Jibu gave a really good example about this, using Tiki because she is the Kwame of creation. So if there were to be another creation, then it necessarily wouldn't be creation, it would be in turn replication. So we also know now that a Kwame also cannot give a power that goes against another Kwame's magic. I found all of this quite interesting, and it really ruled out the possibility of Monarch using Oriko's power to find out who Ladybug is. Also, the Guardian is technically the official holder of the Kwames until they are given to a new holder or the Guardian renounces them. So they technically can't say the identity of the holder. Moving on to Marinette's awesome plan. Marinette came up with a pretty cool plan, and honestly, I can't even say I'm surprised. Yes, it is one of the best plans she has ever made, but you can always count on her to come up with a foolproof plan. She honestly deserves more credit, and I personally think that we tend to underestimate this girl as a fandom. Yes, she makes mistakes, but who doesn't? She has to be the smartest character in the show, and the amount of thought, time, and stress that went into this one plan alone got me excited to see Marinette and Ladybug this season. Anyway, as I said, this plan was very well thought out, and it really was foolproof. Long story short, the Kwames led Monarch to Marinette's room, where she gave Monarch a key to a locker at the ice rink. The ice skater man took a photo and posted it, notifying Cat Noir to go to the wax museum and wait with Ladybug for Monarch to eventually arrive and get trapped. Can I just say that I loved how the Kwames all went to Ladybug, and just seeing them together made me so happy. But it broke my heart because I knew that Ladybug wasn't gonna get all the Miraculouses back this early into the season. Though there is something I don't quite understand yet. When Ladybug was busy giving her whole monologue, she said that her real address was written on the paper, but she had it replaced just before Monarch had arrived. But wasn't the whole plan to trap him in case he used the Kwames to find Ladybug's real identity? Meaning that there never was a real address on there in the first place. And I guess you could say that she did this to cover the Kwames' tracks, so that it looks as if they were actually telling the truth. But if she didn't waste time doing this monologue, she could have taken the time to actually take the Miraculouses away so that she wouldn't even need to cover their tracks, as they wouldn't be held captive anymore. Now, what happened next really shocked me. I really couldn't believe that Monarch would actually cataclysm himself instead of revealing his identity. Like, that's crazy. Although we know that a cataclysm won't make a person completely disintegrate into nothing, there is still no assured outcome. Thomas Astruc even said it himself. Literally anything could happen. This really made me think about Gabriel and how he has evolved throughout the show. In just 5 seasons, he has already had 3 different names: Hawkmoth, Shadowmoth, and Monarch. I also noticed that not only did his name change according to the amount of Miraculouses he had, but it also changed with the role he played and sort of with his main goal. Let me first establish that moths are sort of a symbol of change and transformation, hence he's constant evolving as a villain. We know that Gabe has been wanting to wake Emily up since seasons 1 through 4. In seasons 1 to 3, he called himself Hawkmoth. Knowing that moths symbolize change and hawks are a symbol of observation and vigilance, we can see how his name played into what he did. In seasons 1, 2, and 3, he mainly sent his villains out and just observed from his basement/lair, except for the few times in, I think it was Heroes Day and The Collector, where he actually went out, but mostly he was observing. In season 4 though, his name changed, and now he called himself Shadowmoth. As a verb, shadow means to follow and observe closely and secretly. And that's exactly what he did in season 4, with Optigami, Sentibabla, and even other occasions where he didn't physically go out and shadow someone without them knowing. Now, in season 5, he wants power, equally if not more than he wants to wake Emily up, and episode 1 of season 5 just proves my point. He refused to go into the past and save Emily when he had the chance. Instead, he went after Ladybug and Cat Noir for their Miraculouses. If he really just wanted to save Emily, he would have just done it there and there, without even needing to chase down 2 teenagers. It was the easier alternative, though it would have had consequences on the future, but I don't think that he would have cared. But he chose the route where he would be the most powerful if he were to acquire the 2 jewels. Also, at the end of Destruction, he states that Monarch's reign has just begun. Now, if we look at what Monarch means, it's a king or a ruler. Monarch is not here to play, and he even showed us that by absolutely destroying the ancient and priceless Miraculouses and turning them into dust to turn into those alliance rings. From what I understand, he won't need to actually give the akumatized villains the Miraculous. He can just activate the power remotely, and we saw that in the previous episode, Multiplication. Gabriel is really leveling up as a villain, and I am really excited to see how the rest of the season will play out. Overall, I love how episodes 1, 2, and 3 tied into each other. There was a bit of back and forth between Multiplication and Destruction, but with the help of a few videos, I managed to make sense of the whole timeline. It was quite interesting the way they tied into each other, to the point where one feels incomplete without the other. To be honest, I was worried when the show released the episode titles, as I thought it would take the same formula from the previous season's Villain of the Week, but turn it into Miraculous of the Week that will be retrieved. Now that the Kwamis and Miraculouses are not really sent out into battle with the villain, I'm so curious to see how Ladybug and Cat Noir will get them back. I'm a bit disappointed that there was not more Cat Noir screen time in an episode literally titled Destruction. But I do feel sorry for him. Poor boy was crushed when Hawkmoth used his own cataclysm to cataclysm himself. But I still have a feeling that this season, Cat Noir is going to do something big. So lastly, for the rest of the season, I would like to do more of these discussion style reviews for the episodes. Since there are a lot of episodes that are going to be released, I feel that it would be easier to discuss 3 episodes at a time due to the hectic release schedule. But obviously, I will follow them chronologically and review them chronologically because the show is starting to follow a more continuous style of writing. And I'm absolutely intrigued by these first 3 episodes, and I'm excited to watch the rest of the season and share my thoughts with all of you. I also wanted to say thanks to all of you guys for subscribing. We have passed 200 subscribers, and I couldn't be more grateful. And that brings me to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, subscribe, and turn on my post notifications so that you do not miss out when I upload a new video. If you have any thoughts or anything that you would like to add, I would love to see what you have to say, so please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Andy out.